Continuing with the sine rule can also be used to work out the length of a side of a triangle. So again, in terms of what you're doing, you've been given a triangle. So you look at your triangle and you go, is it a right angle triangle? If so, can I work out the angles? Can I use my sine, cos and tan ratios? If you haven't been able to do any of them, but you're still looking for the length of the side, you go, do I have a side and its opposite angle? If you have the side and its opposite angle, in this case, you can work it out using the sine rule. But when you're working out the side, rearrange your formula for the sine rule. So last time we were looking for the angle, we put the angle in the top corner. This time, if we're looking for the side, you put the side you were looking for in the top corner. So you go side over the sine of its opposite angle equal to the length of the known side over the sine of the angle opposite that. So moving stuff around this time is much easier. So you have your side, leave that where it is equal to the known side, this one, times the sine of the opposite angle over the sine of the opposite known angle. Right, so in terms of this formula, it looks a bit odd. So if I was doing what's in the book, it would have, you're going A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. So you're putting the length in the top. We want A on its own, so A is equal to B times sine A over sine B. So basically this just came up and multiplied your B. Plug that into your calculator and it's done. There's no finding inverse this time. It's much, much easier. So if we go to the book, you're on page 408. It says, find correct to one decimal place the length of the side marked with X in any of each of the triangles. So in terms of your triangle, again, you're looking at the triangle, you go, I have a triangle, I have a 68, I have a 33, right? I have a 9, I have an X. Steps for solving this, I would go, I have two angles in my triangle, I can work out the third. So what I can do is I can add my 68 and my 33 together. 68 and 33 give me 101, and then I take 101 away from 180, so that means this is equal to 79 degrees. All right, then I go back to my triangle. Do I have a right angle triangle? So when I look at my three angles, I don't. So that means I cannot do Pythagoras' theorem, I can't do my sine, cos, tan ratios. Next step, have I a side and its opposite angle? So I have a known side, I have a known opposite angle. Right, so I can do the sine rule. I am looking for a side. So in this case, I go X over sine 68. So X over the sine of its opposite angle is equal to the side over the sine of its opposite angle. I want the X on its own, so X is equal to 9 times sine 68 divided by sine of 33. Plug that into your calculator. Again, when you're plugging into your calculator, make sure the calculator says D at the top of here. And you just go 9 times sine of 68, close the bracket, equals, divided by sine of 33, close the bracket, equals. So in this case, we got told X was equal to 15.32. We want correct to one decimal place, so you look at the second decimal place. Is it a 5, 6, 7, or 8? So in this case, it's not. So your answer would just be 15.3. If you look at the second triangle there, use that piece of paper, right? So in our triangle, we have your triangle. There's a 44 degrees at the top, a 38 degrees in that angle, an X here, and a 10. So like before, I'd go, I have a triangle. I have two angles in it. What's the third? So like before, I'd go 38 and 44, which gives me 82, and then take 82 away from 180. So I would get this is equal to 98 degrees. Right? So now I have all my three angles. I know that none of them is 90, so that means I can't do my Pythagoras' theorem. I can't do my sine, cos, and tan. So next step is, do I have a side and the opposite angle? So I have a known side, I have a known opposite angle, so I can do the sine rule. I'm looking for a side, so I go x over the sine of its opposite angle. So x over sine 44 is equal to 10 over its opposite, which is sine 38. So x is equal to 10 sine 44 divided by sine 38. When you have it in this form, then take out the calculator, make sure the calculator is in D, and type in 10 sine 44 close bracket equals divided by sine 38 close your bracket equals, and you get 11.28. Read this question. They wanted it correct to one decimal place, so you're looking at the second decimal place. This time it is a 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9. All right, so we're going to add one on, so we get 11.3.